Oh, sorry. Delia Melody, what are you doing? Are you on a pineapple diet? Nope, don't worry Delia, I am under no illusions that I can make my general crotchal region smell like pineapples by eating some sort of pineapple diet. I was just checking my scent like most women do from time to time. It's normal for most women to have a scent down there. Oh, I mean, yeah, that's perfectly normal. There's already a Stevie Bobby video on the entire subject. Yeah, you know what? I was beginning to notice the homage to Stevie Bobby from like the moment you walked in, and that's cool because her videos on sex ed are like really necessary and well done, but one thing she didn't touch on is whether or not it's normal for transgender women to also develop a feminine scent down there. Right, that actually is something that we need to talk about. Damn right it is. Transgender women's health and sex ed is just as important as cisgender women's, and like there's a really weird double standard where it's generally considered like more okay and normal to talk about these things when it's cis women's issues, but like not as much when it's our issues. Yeah, there is sort of that weird double standard about body positivity and like sex education for different groups of women, isn't there? Yeah, there really is, and I'm just thinking, that's gotta stop. Alright, well we're going to break that down. I'm leaving. You have a video to make after this. I knew there would be consequences to making a bunch of clones of myself in The Sims.
It's Delia. That's me.
As you can see, it's taken me so long to finish this video that I've had time not only to change and do makeup, but also for my hair dye to start fading. So congratulations! Today you get a video with 3 of me, one of whom happens to be British for some reason. Don't ask me why. Hey dealy boppers and other assorted cutie patooties of YouTube and the interwebs, what's up? It's time for a sex-positive educational video on the effects of hormone replacement therapy on trans women's bodies. So the question or do has been asked, do transgender women on hormone replacement therapy develop our own feminine fragrance down there? Well, as it turns out, hormones control a lot about the human body. And it's actually not only totally normal, but expected that within the first 6 months of hormone replacement therapy, your body and everything it produces should begin to lose its testosterone-influenced aromas and begin to take on a much more estrogen-influenced quality, along with the unique fragrance that progesterone adds if you're taking that for 12 days out of the month like I do. One of those key fragrances that your hormone balance is going to influence is the scent of your sweat. So sweat is a huge factor in this because no matter how you were assigned, it sweats down there a lot. And in addition to that, a lot of your skin down there is actually mucosal to varying degrees depending on what part of your fetal genital bud it developed from and what your body's hormones are telling it to do at any given point in time. Fetal genital what? So long story short, no matter which of the 6 scientifically recognized biological sexes your unique combination of chromosomes and primary and secondary sex characteristics fits into, everyone's genitals are analogous. They all start out as an identical structure in the womb called a genital bud, and the parts neatly line up as all just basically being differently shaped and sized and arranged versions of each other, with the addition of holding the gonads in the case of the scrotum, which is not something that most labia majora do. In this case, the urethra is embedded within the glands, whereas in this case, it's slightly below the glands, and these aren't even the only 2 possible arrangements. But still, all the same parts and pieces, just sized and shaped and arranged differently. And if a transgender woman has a vaginoplasty, then they're actually generally rearranged into about the same configuration as they would have been if they'd developed that way. So when you're on female hormones and testosterone blockers, in addition to all of that sweat down there smelling like estrogen sweat, the mucosal skin on your genitals is also going to begin secreting all the same secretions that your cis friends' genitals do. In addition, the fluids that your body produces in response to sexual arousal will also begin to take on the same pH and texture and taste and fragrance, as well as becoming much more abundant in those situations in which you do find yourself sexually aroused. In other words, you will get wet. I don't care what any catty cis woman has ever tried to tell you to scare you away from transitioning or make you feel depressed or hopeless about it. They don't know what they're talking about. Over time, the microcosmic ecosystem of your skin will begin to become a home to more and more feminine flora. This only becomes even more true for trans women who have a vaginoplasty because it gives those little critters all sorts of nifty little dark crevices and folds to hide in. And just like for any cis woman, all of these factors will come together to give you your very own unique vag fragrance and flavor. When this happens, don't freak out about it. There's a lot of ugly misogynist culture that likes to diss on the way that vaginas smell and taste, but the reality is that vaginas smell and taste amazing, which like every other lesbian and body positive feminist on the planet will back me up on. So like, don't let cis dudes being grody and immature about women's bodies, or bitches who douche every other day not knowing how much of a horrible idea douching is, make you feel self-conscious about your scent. Most transgender women who experience dysphoria should actually find these changes really comforting and affirming. I know I did. For me, it was sort of like just losing all these horrible, weird scents to live inside and having them replaced with scents that sort of more made my body feel like it was saying home, I guess, to the inner me, as opposed to like you. That's the best way I can think of to really describe it, but basically it actually makes me feel a lot more comfortable and at peace with my body. It makes me feel a lot less self-conscious about my sexual partners exploring my body. Lesbian partners have had a tendency to go on at length, I feel a bit at times, about exactly how good they feel like my whole body smells. It's a really sexy way to treat your pretty trans girlfriend too, just FYI. For most people who like to date women, a feminine fragrance down there is a super turn on. So if you're the kind of woman like me whose partners are into women and who likes having partners who are into women, it's definitely not a bad thing. And no, you cannot make yourself smell or taste like a pineapple, although in some cases what you eat can have a slight impact on your scent down there. I, for example, did once make myself smell like Whataburger Chop House cheddar burgers by eating them every day for like a month or something, but my girlfriend didn't seem to mind. Whatever those spices they're using in that sauce is just really, really strong. Onions. It's gotta be onions. On a side note, I definitely would not recommend experimenting on an all-asparagus diet. But aside from freak occurrences like that or any infections, which you know you would definitely need to go see a doctor about, your scent is just as wonderful and beautiful and wholesome and good and natural and normal as any other woman's. And while you might succeed in making it marginally sweeter for your partner by eating a copious amount of fruit, which is pretty unnecessary and like the change is pretty minor, frankly, I'd tell anyone who told me that I needed to go on a pineapple diet to go fuck themselves. And in addition, especially post-vaginoplasty, when the environment becomes even more favorable for the flora down there, eating too much sugar could trigger an increase in yeast activity, which I mean, like, nobody wants. So maybe go for some Greek yogurt instead. No joke, it's full of good bacteria for your body. Not to even mention, it tastes really good with honey. My microbiota are gonna be so balanced for you, baby. My point is there's no need to change the scent that you're going to develop, so just let it be wonderful and womanly just like you. Thank you for watching and not being grody or immature or rude about trans women's bodies or any women's bodies in the comments, unless you were, in which case that's just grody and immature of you. And until next time, aroma and all, be yourself, love yourself, and be your most beautiful you. Hey everyone, thanks for watching and be sure to subscribe and check out Stevie Bobby's video, Why Does My Vagina Smell?, which was actually the inspiration for the bathroom scene in this video. She's an awesome sapphic poly YouTuber who runs like a mainly lesbian-oriented, sex-positive, sex ed, and like body positivity channel, so that's really awesome. If you want to support this channel, I do have a Patreon with all sorts of rewards and goodies set up for like the super dealy boppers who sign up there. And I also sell awesome t-shirts and swag for my channel at Designs by Delia on Redbubble.com. And general LGBT pride swag at Trans Pride Shop on Redbubble.com. Now get out of my bathroom, for crying out loud! I can deal with me accidentally walking in on myself when I forget to lock the door, but all of you two walking in on me when I forget to lock the door is a little bit weird.